What a way to start for Ryan Shafer, his first career appearance in the TV finals.
Let's see if George can keep it going. This could be one of the greatest matches on television we've had in a long time. Two young players, two very talented young players, going at it on television for the first time.
Both men open with strikes. The stepladder indicates how we got to this point in the proceedings. Branham and Shafer, Bowman finishing 5th and Wunderlich 4th. And George leaves the 4-pin.
An interesting sideline, Jay, to what's happening today is as we watch George Branham repeat that shot, and you can see the 4-pin, and the ball broke very sharply on the back. An interesting sidelight to this is the fact that the last time Marshall Holman and Mark Roth were on the same telecast as they are today was the Quaker State Open earlier this year. And at that time, a rookie, John Odrobinick, came through the whole field and won. We have two, you might say, rookies on the telecast today.
And there is Roth. He qualified first. He's waiting in the wings to meet the winner of this one. A little high and a split for Ryan Shafer.
A very difficult split. If you remember last week on the telecast, we had the same split left, and it was picked up. As you see, he comes right off his toes, right up in the air. He's just a little guy, Ryan is, and he tries to get every ounce of his body involved in the shot. He's going to try to slide the 3-pin across to take out the 4-7. Good attempt.
It was a good attempt. I talked about him being a human windmill out there. He does have an unusual style. I mean, he throws himself into it. He gyrates out there, and he really does get a lot of loft and a lot of speed for his size. He is just 135 pounds wringing wet. Rocks him down.
Right back with a strike. You can see by the graphic on television, he is only 20 years old, as Jay mentioned, and only in his second professional tournament on the national tour.
He has won a regional title, but he, as I mentioned, has stepped out here and looked good this week. Here's George Branham on 22. Branham up by 14 pins.
As I mentioned earlier, most of the bowlers have drilled a number of new bowling balls for the lane conditions this week. And as you can see, George is using a new bowling ball. And the reason being, as the ball rolls down the lane, there's so much oil on the lanes this week that it becomes absorbed into the bowling ball. So they try to use a new ball so they can get that grip on the surface.
And the 10-pin is standing for George.
George bowling extremely well. He's had 2 strikes on lane 22, left the 10-pin and the 4-pin on lane 21. So he's lined up to the pocket, and it's going to be difficult for Ryan Shafer if he doesn't get it going very early in the match to stay with George the way he's throwing the ball.
We'll be back with more in just a moment. Ryan Shafer down by 14. Looking good, but there's the 4-pin.
Ryan really liked that shot, Jay. He felt it was an excellent shot, and I thought it was too. The ball looked like it was going to be right there. As you see, this is Ryan's approach from the back, Pascal gets up on that toe, the tremendous lift, the leg strength he uses to get the rotation and lift that he needs because of this slight build. Ball breaks sharply, leaving the 4-pin. In an unusual way for a player to shoot the 4-pin. He shoots it down the left side of the lane where most of the players will go cross lane. He goes down the left side.
Last week in the True Value Open in Indianapolis, Ryan won the Pro Tour qualifier on Monday, failed to cash. During the Rabbit squad, though, he rolled 300 in his 5th game, 296 in his 9th, and a 290 in his 10th. He's a very capable and talented young bowler.
Oh, he has the striking power of any player on the tour, other than maybe a John Gant. And there he showed it, Jay, with all that rotation, those pins just dancing down there.
There you see that he had back-to-back 300 games in a regional match play event in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Actually, it was a 300-300 tie, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it tied a PBA record. It had been done once before by Tom Baker and Pete Weber in the national tournament in Denver. And they did it in a regional event, and it's still a PBA event, so it ties a record, basically. As you watch George Branham here in the 5th frame, another good shot. Now George has had all 5 shots in the pocket. He's had 2 10-pins and a 4-pin. He is definitely lined up. He starts carrying. Ryan's better get it going.
Well, Branham with that 246 game at 9 strikes in his victory over Wunderlich, and he now has a 13-pin lead. High.
And George had looked like he had a problem with the foul line there, Jay, as Steve Wunderlich did a couple of times in the last game. If you remember, Steve Wunderlich slipped and fouled. Now watch George to get to the foul line. He looks like he loses his balance here. You see him kind of catch himself there a little bit, like he was off balance. He didn't like the shot, and he was fortunate that he didn't get a big split out of that.
The 6, 9, 10.
The first big mistake by either player, other than the split that Ryan had in the 2nd frame, but the first actual missed spare. As you see the ball slide by the 6-pin and slide it in front of the 9. Gotta hurry. Those are the kind of shots that the player will get that almost unmakeable split when he leaves the 2, 8, 10, as Steve Wunderlich did earlier in one of our other matches, and it's just an impossible spare. Fortunately, the 10 went out, and Ryan has the 2, 8, and he's going to shoot it from the left side again, it appears, Jay, and if he does that, it's a more difficult shot. Down, oh, he moved in, but when that's he cuts the angle down, and it's really hard to get the ball to get that back pin when you do that, Jay.
You had a feeling that was going to happen to him there, didn't you?
It just didn't look right. As you see the ball, the 2-8, the ball really has to cover both pins with the ball, and it deflects away after it hits the 2-pin, leaving the 8. And that's a young player, rookie mistake, you might say, to shoot the spare in that manner.
Both players with problems here in the 6th. Now Shafer in the 7th. And he comes back with the strike. Hope you're enjoying the Brunswick Memorial World Open. More of the play after this from your local station. And here, our coverage of the PBA Fall Tour continues at the Brunswick Memorial World Open. Branham up by 11. Oh, it kicked out of there. Look at it, still spin.
It looked like as you watch the ball, and here's George going to the foul line, as you watch his ball enter the pocket area, the 1-3 pocket, Watch the 5-pin start to go to the left and then stop, and the head pin will come off the wall, spin around, hit it with the neck, and knock it down. Good break for George. On a strike now. Chance to increase his lead.
All right. 21 pin advantage now for George Branham. Shafer, a strike in the 7th. On lane 22 in the 8th. Looking good.
First time he has struck on lane 22 in the match, and it's already the 8th frame. But a key time to do it. It keeps him in the match, only 11 pins down with 2 frames to play.
He had to have this one, Earl.
He definitely did. And watch this arm swing. Watch him come right off up on his toe there, Jay. He gets everything he's got into every shot.
He is a man in motion. He's got big trouble.
He does, and he was in position there to get the match to within 1 pin if he would have struck. And it was a key shot. It's 9th frame. It's late in the match. Without the spare here, which is a very difficult shot, as you see the ball go through the middle of the head pin, leaving the 6, 7, 10. Without this spare, George Branham is really in a commanding position.
Shafer's first career appearance in the TV finals. He had a high series this year, the ABC tournament at 780. Bolden College. Now it's Branham up by 26. And Branham strikes, and he is definitely the man of the moment.
He is. Hit him thin and watch him spin, Jay. He did it again. That's back-to-back on that right-hand lane, lane 22, that he's had the ball come in light in the pocket. As you see George going to the foul line. Now watch the ball hit. Just barely get enough of the head pin to get him dancing around. And watch the pin. It looks like it's already in the pit area. Turn around and just knock the 7 down.
He's our winner. George Branham III from California. His first career championship round appearance, and his best previous finish was 8th. I think I said that was at Los Angeles in '86.
Well, he's going to have his hands full in the next match, Jay, going against someone of the caliber of a Mark Roth, very experienced, a very dominant type player. And he's the kind of guy, when you get out there and bowl against him, as I've done many times in the past, he can be intimidating with the power that Mark Roth has in his release. It's going to be interesting how George Branham handles the pressure of bowling for his first championship against a player of the caliber of Mark Roth.
Well, no black professional has ever won a PBA title. It will be Branham against Roth. More in just a few moments from the Brunswick Memorial World Open here in Glendale Heights.
That's